Hello.
From the studios of Staten Island Community Television, you're watching In the Bleachers, the TV show for the world's most passionate sports fans. Hello, everyone. I'm Jaime Hixson, joined by my dear friend over the phone.
Oh, they received my application. The money people.
Hector, can you hear us, man?
Hello.
Hector, can you hear us?
At least I'm not dead.
It's not what I heard. Anyway, can you hear us? Wow. In all
Hello.
the years that we've been doing this show, I never thought I would see the day, or in this case, hear the day, where there would be a flushing of a toilet on the
Hello?
air.
Hello.
Hector, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hector,
Yes.
go ahead.
Am I all right?
Yes, you are on.
Okay. Are we on live?
We are on live, sir.
All right. Let me tell the women to hush up for a second. Calm down, ladies. Shh. Gotta do my job. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the hottest, baddest, sexiest man on cable access TV. Yours truly, the man of the hour with the power, Hector Bosa. How's that? Isn't that a nice intro for me?
You had me at the toilet flushing.
Oh, well, I had to do other things too with the ladies. But, hey.
Brother.
So, you say, now you say, ding, ding, da, 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 da. That's a good song, by the way. But I have to know, I want to know, Giants and Jets and NHL and boxing and golfing and Knicks and Nets, how they all doing?
Where do you want to start?
Well, let me see. Let's start with the biggest news of them all, even though it probably went on the third page. But the New York Giants, they've made some moves, correct?
Yes, they have.
And what has been their biggest move that has improved the team?
Right now, the biggest move that's improved the team is getting Kenny Galladay from Detroit.
Now, for those people who don't understand what position he is, what position does he play? For those people that don't understand, explain to the people how good this man is.
Kenny Galladay is a 6'4" wide receiver who originally was from Chicago and wound up playing college ball at Northern Illinois for 3 years. And then he joined the Detroit Lions after getting drafted in 2017. And after being released, he wound up being signed by the Giants to a 3-year deal, a very fair deal, I might add, that the Giants wound up giving him.
And how does he improve the team?
He improves the team in quite a few ways. He improves the team with his height. I think he's a good matchup for opposing defensive backs. And I think he also has some of that speed that the Giants have been looking for at receiver for quite a while now.
So he's a receiver. Good. And how else have they improved the team?
Where do we even begin?
Well, the front line. They've improved their front line, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how many people, free agency-wise, did they get from either a trade or being in the front line? What did they do? Did they get more trades, or was it a trade thing, or was it just a free agent one? Which one was it?
It was mostly in free agency where they wound up getting getting the guys that they needed to improve themselves on the O line.
So in free agency they improved. Where else did they improve?
They improved on the down line, bringing back Leonard Williams on a more than fair deal.
And so they improved the front line. They improved in wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They improved. So they just got big pieces, no big names, except for Shaquan Barkley. Shaquan Barkley is still their big name.
Yeah.
But everybody else.
There's still the question of what they're going to do with him. Are they going to turn down his option year, or are they going to give him a new deal?
Who, Shaquan Barkley?
Yeah.
If they don't give him a new deal, where are they going?
Well,
and if they're going to say, well,
doesn't look like it's going to be that far. But to be quite honest with you, I think that they might be able to survive a little bit without Barkley, because to be quite honest with you, they still have guys in the backfield that they could go to. Wayne Gallman is one, and they have a couple of others as well.
But here's the man that has given you. He runs over 1,000 yards for you when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a high draft choice, and he worked out for you. And you're going to say that either we don't have no money, or what do you say? Is it because they don't have no money that they're going, oh, even though they knew that this was going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
That's what they so they have no money to pay him? Is that what you're saying?
It's not like they don't have any money to pay him. I mean, the money is there. It's just a question of whether they have any faith in the guy to come back from his injury.
Well, what injury does it have? Explain it to the people, because they may have forgotten, or just explain it to people. What injury does he have?
Last year, and he wound up getting a major surgery, which required a good 6 months of healing and rehab.
Now, which injury did he get?
He hurt his knee.
He's hurt his knee.
More like he blew out his knee.
Oh, he blew out his knee. All right. How old is he?
I think he's about 23 years old.
Okay, he blew out his knee. He's 23. Do most people come back from knee problems like that? At 23.
I mean, they do. It's just a matter of whether they have that explosive first step or not.
And they got still one more year with him before they decide whether they're going to keep him or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so at least they have him one more year and they try it out.
Exactly.
At least they have that 1 year and they try him out, which isn't so bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he does well, you know, you give him the high amount of money. If he doesn't do well, but he gave you a good amount of money, good enough yards, then you pay him what he's worth. Maybe he'll get another year out of it. And then go, okay, give me one more year, and then afterwards take a big deal later on, such as most athletes will do that too.
This season is going to be really critical for him, because if he doesn't get himself a 1,000-yard season, then this only exacerbates the Giants' decision in what to do with him.
Yeah, that's true, because again, if he's doing well enough but doesn't have that explosiveness, maybe they go and say, listen, here, we'll pay you one more year. We'll pay you for next year. Mm-hmm. If you do well, we'll give you this amount of money. And if you don't, we let you go. Or they can sign and trade him too.
Exactly right.
You know. Oh, and how is there? So we talked about the offensive line. So they covered their offensive line, right? Or do they still need improvement?
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to get themselves another lineman or two, but I think overall they pretty much covered their druthers as it is.
Okay.
And you mentioned
and they're good. Defensive line, they're good.
Defensive line is, I would say, okay. Now that they brought back Williams on a long-term deal, a multi-year deal, I should say, they're going to be pretty deadly on that line.
But they can improve. They can improve. Every team can improve, but they're okay. They're okay right now that they can make the playoffs with this team.
Exactly right.
Oh, okay. And their quarterback. What do you think of their quarterback?
Not like I'm trying to defend the guy, but there were moments when Daniel Jones really showed that he could make strides with the team. And just to give you an idea about what their future holds with him, he was the one that called for some voluntary workouts with teammates in Arizona. And a lot of the guys seem to back the kid up. And don't forget, he was also there for that 4-game winning streak as well last season.
Well, that's good. That's good. Hopefully it'll work out for them. But so you think, even though the other teams, so who do you think is going to be in first place on paper this year coming up?
In the Eastern Division, you mean?
Yeah, in this, yes, in the Giants division right now, on paper. Because of their improvements and so on. You think Dallas is going to be first?
I still have this thing that the Cowboys may have improved enough where they could get that Eastern Division next year.
How about Miami?
In the AFC East.
Because that's where...
In the AFC East, I think Miami has made great strides, even in spite of the issues that they may have at quarterback.
So the division that the Giants are in, it's Dallas, Giants, Washington.
Dallas, the Giants, Washington, and maybe Philly.
And Philly.
Yeah,
There's
Philly's doing some rebuilding.
So, okay. So who's in first, you think?
I still think the Cowboys take first place.
Who's in second?
I think Washington takes second, to be honest with you.
Okay, you said Dallas would take first. Why? Because of their signings?
I think the Cowboys have the better quarterback in the division. Not only that, but their offensive line is really strong. I think their running game is solid, and they have a really good crop of receivers for Dak Prescott to work with. One thing that might hurt them, though, is their defense. Defensively, they couldn't stop anybody last season.
So they have Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
Are they Swiss cheese, or are they better than Swiss cheese?
I think you could probably run circles around them and even through the holes. That's how much Swiss cheese they have on their defensive front.
All right, Washington. So you're saying that Dallas can outscore anybody?
Dallas can't stop anybody. They have to try to outscore teams in order to win games, which is a really dangerous proposition.
How about Washington?
Washington, if they can settle their problem at quarterback, I think they could surprise some people. They definitely surprised some people last year. Even though they were 7-9, they surprised a lot of people last year.
And what's their good things and what's their bad?
The one bad thing that they have is the hole at quarterback. Now that they got rid of Alex Smith, now that there's no Dwayne Haskins, who's going to be the guy to take control and lead that team to the promised land? Quite frankly, I don't see it. Literally, I don't see a guy there. Good things, though. Good things is the youth that they have on the defensive line, especially with Chase Young. Chase Young is a beast. And I think he can take the Skins pretty far.
And how are their draft choices? Do they have high draft choices this year or no?
Let me check that.
Are they able to get a quarterback in the draft choice this year, or do you think they're going to have to get one of these rehash some people?
They probably could. Let me just check the NFL draft positioning for these teams.
Who's in third in your mind right now on paper? Who's in third place then for you? If you pick Dallas first, Washington second, who do you pick third? Giants?
The record is, right now, they're picking 19th overall, Washington is. Washington's picking 19th. For the record, the Giants are going to be picking 11th.
So on paper, who's in third place?
Are you talking about in the Eastern Division?
Yeah, where the Giants are playing.
I hate to say this, but I think the Giants take third. And Philadelphia, which is a rebuilding team, takes fourth.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's not bad. I mean, you can still make the playoffs in third place, but...
It would have to take a lot of help in order for that to happen.
Unless
don't forget, now that they have that 7th spot in each conference and a 17th game to work with,
there's only 4 teams? I thought there was one more team.
The Giants do something this season.
I thought there was one more team that plays. So it's just the Giants, Washington, Dallas, Washington, Giants, and Philly.
Yeah, that's
one more
standing
team
in the NFC East.
I thought there was one more team left. I'm sorry.
No. And for the record, Washington's picking 19th in the draft, and the Giants are picking 11th. And one of the guys that the Giants could be considering for that 11th spot is either Kwity Paye, who's from Michigan.
What position?
He's an edge lineman, a defensive edge lineman. Or they could pick a receiver, which is not such a bad idea. Elijah Moore from Mississippi, which is interesting considering he's rather undersized for a receiver. He's only 5'9.5". But right now, he's doing pretty well at the combine.
Yeah, but does that really tell you if they're good or not? The combines, or are they telling you, he can jump, he can run?
Sometimes it does, though.
I don't believe in that so much. Sometimes.
I wouldn't underestimate it if I were you, man. Sometimes these combines can really tell a lot about a prospect.
All right. I have a question on that, but for later on.
Okay.
But now in the Jets division, because the big deal with the Jets is they got rid of
Sam Darnold,
their quarterback.
Yeah.
Now, did they? I mean, that was the big thing, and who they get? 2 number ones, or is it 2 number 1 draft choices?
A 6th round draft pick, and 2nd and 4th round draft picks next year.
So they get 1 and 2 number 2s next year.
No, they got a 6th round pick.
Oh, they got a 6th round pick
For this year.
I thought they get a number 1 pick. Like 31st, 35th or something. But
and a 2nd and 4th round pick next year.
Oh, okay. 2nd and 4th pick. All right. Now that they traded him, the big question is, do they go after a quarterback? If they do, who do you think they're going to get, and who do you think they should get?
To answer your question, they're going to get a quarterback. It's not a matter of if anymore. It's who. As far as who that person might be, I keep hearing more and more that it's going to be Zach Wilson from Brigham Young.
Now, what do you think of him?
I've seen the guy play a little bit, so it's not really much to go on as far as one or two games is concerned. But from what I saw of the kid, he's a pretty decent player.
What's his stats? What are his stats? Do you know offhand?
Let's see here.
That he makes it, because I'm sure there's more people. So would you pick him?
That's a good question. I'm not really sure, to be quite honest with you.
Because I'm sure there's more than one quarterback coming out of the draft. And I was listening to WFAN or ESPN, one of them, or satellite radio, I forgot which one, and they were going that most Ohio quarterbacks aren't that good.
Yeah. And the one guy who started out as a quarterback, Terrell Pryor, he was converted to be a receiver. So it just goes to show you exactly where these quarterbacks stand in the NFL. And can we not forget about one Dwayne Haskins, who was drafted pretty high by the Redskins and wound up flopping miserably, so much that he wound up getting released.
Now, he is at a young age. He is still a young guy. There may be a team that could take a chance on him as a second stringer or a third stringer, and then he could work himself up, depending upon how he does. All right?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be something. But with the Jets now, that's the quarterback that they're favoring.
Right.
The gentleman that you said.
Yeah, Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson. What is so good about him?
Well,
he's got a good arm.
I've got the scouting report right
else,
in front of me.
So.
He's a smart, instinctive quarterback. He's heady. He's poised. Does a really good job by commanding the offense. He shows patience, which is important for a quarterback. He's natural when it comes to looking off the safety. He's always on the same page with receivers, and his timing with receivers is really impeccable.
So how is he throwing for interceptions and all that? Is he better than what the Jets had before?
Well, it only seems like it.
On paper, just on paper, is he better than what the Jets had before?
On paper, yes. He's definitely better than what the Jets have had before.
Okay. Now that that's done, in the Jets division, who's in their division right now?
New England, Buffalo, and Miami.
Okay, who's in first place?
Buffalo wins by far. They're the best team right now because they have the best quarterback in the division. They also have the best defense in the division.
Okay, second place.
Second place, I think Miami is just good enough, in spite of their question mark at quarterback, to take not only second place but also another playoff spot for them.
Third place.
Third place is New England. Speaking of New England, Julian Edelman retired.
Okay. And what does that do? And
well, that means they have to look for a new number one receiver right now. And that's another team that wound up making a whole bunch of headway during the offseason is New England. They signed a whole bunch of guys that they hope will help them get back to the next level.
So they're on their rebuilding stage, correct?
On the fly, yeah. Okay. They're rebuilding with a bunch of free agents.
Fourth place.
The Jets take last place by far.
Wow.
By far. Regardless of who the quarterback is.
Okay, explain why. I mean, they did make some good draft choices for the offensive line, the defensive. I mean, where did they go wrong?
They still didn't improve the offensive line. They still don't have a true number one receiver. The defensive line,
they're good.
I'm not too sure about it. I mean,
they were in games last year for defensively. It was the offense that wasn't clicking for them.
That's another thing about the offense. They don't have a true running back that they can pound the ball to for about 15 to 20 times a game.
But they have all this salary cap. They're building from scratch. The GM has a clean slate. Now he should have no problems. He's got as one person say, he's got a painted canvas, and he's right there. He can get anybody and anyone he wants. This is his team. If this team fails, he's going. Because this is a brand new team. I mean, they got rid of practically everybody. They're building from scratch.
Oh, we're just going to have to wait and see about that.
But it is the truth, though. I mean, you basically have a clean slate. You change your coaches, right? You have a huge. You have a big salary. You have a big salary cap that you can go after anybody, and you have gone after people. Mm-hmm. So if this is your baby, you're going to tell me that if the team fails, it's not because of the people that he picked, depending upon what happens to them?
Part of that is going to be because of the players.
I mean, I'm disregarding injuries and, depending upon what system they run, if they can run the system. But again, you have that big salary cap that you're going, okay, I could pick anybody that's going to run this system, and this time it's got to work, or my job is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then what you're saying is the reason why they're not going to make the playoff, or the reason why they're going to be in fifth place is
fourth
because
place, you mean?
They still haven't.
They're going to be in fourth place because
enough?
Offensively they suck. Defensively, they're a complete and unmitigated mess. I mean, you said that they were good, but I didn't see anything of the sort last season. Last season, they were a complete mess.
I mean, defensively, I seen that they were pretty good. They weren't that bad. I just seen mostly the offensive line. Defensively, they tried, and offensively, they couldn't do a damn thing. I mean, that's what some people are saying. Did Donald have did he have a chance, or did he not have a chance? Because, like you said, no offensive line, no receivers. Even if you pick this new kid, you still have the same problems.
Yeah.
No offensive line.
No offensive line, no receivers, no running back. I mean, he's going to be naked out there without any playmakers.
Exactly. So this is what I'm saying. You got this new GM, and, well, he's not a new GM. He's an old GM. He got a big salary cap. He used the money supposedly wisely. Now it's either a break or make type of deal for him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's the case for him? It's a make or break deal for him now?
Yeah, I think it is make or break for Joe Douglas.
Because people like him, they think he does well, and they almost made the playoffs last year somehow. Because they had a rotten. They
2
they
years
were
ago
rotten
they
in
did.
the Eastern in that division anyway. But I'm just saying, what do you think is going to make or break this man? That they'll get rid of him?
What's going to make or break this man is going to be wins and losses. What
And
also is going to make or break this man
year?
is going to be whether he can get some talented 4 to 5 star free agents to make a dent in the New York football scene. What's also going to make or break this man is his drafting. That's why this draft is going to be really important. The Jets, they lost out on getting the first overall pick, which means they lost out on Trevor Lawrence. Now that they're picking second, they have to get really creative with this number 1 pick. Whether it's with Zach Wilson or somebody else, they have to have an elite 5-star draft overall if they're going to have a future.
Well, do you think this year's crop of quarterbacks are any good this year?
From the quarterbacks that are out there, I would say that there's maybe 2 that I would consider really good. There's Zach Wilson, and there's also Justin Fields from Ohio State. The one that you feel is a question mark.
Do you think they did the right thing getting rid of Donald?
I think they did, yeah. He just wasn't cutting it here. He had 3 years here, and he was unhealthy. And when he was healthy, he kept on throwing the ball to the secondary.
Because I think he had, 39 interceptions? 39 interceptions, and I forgot his stats. Because I sent it to you. I know one of the stats was that he had 39 interceptions, I think. Mm-hmm. And he had 3 injuries every year. His shoulder, his foot, and I forgot the last one. But other than that, I don't know what
45 touchdowns, 39 interceptions in 38 games over 3 years. Those were Sam Darnold's stats.
But again, look what the team had given him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you think he'll do better in the Panthers?
He might. I mean, he's not going to have the New York media breathing down his neck anymore.
Well, New York media is one of the tougher medias.
It's the toughest media.
Well, you got New York, Philly, and L.A.
You also have Chicago.
That's true.
You also have Boston, which is notoriously thin-skinned.
But either than that, do you think they got his worth?
Did the Jets get value? Do you mean
Yes. Did
for
they
Darnold?
get value? Yes.
Yes and no. The second and fourth round picks, I think were value enough, but a sixth round pick this year, that just goes to show you the value that Sam Darnold has.
Wow. Do you think if they would have traded him sooner, they would have gotten him more?
Probably. I'm not really sure. I heard the 49ers were really interested in him. I think the 49ers would have given him more value.
Mm. Now that you said that, the next thing, did you like that clip about that boxer?
Oh, you mean the one punch guy?
Yeah, that was something.
I wish I could see the actual video, but for some reason I had a little trouble with my app.
Oh, I'm sorry. But it was a hell of a punch, that's for damn sure. Does it say the name?
No, unfortunately not.
That's all right. I wanted to tell you also the person that won the Masters yesterday.
Yeah, Hideki Matsuyama.
I think it's the first Japanese.
Yes, he
player.
is. First ever Japanese golfer to win the Masters. And think about it. He's also the first Japanese golfer to win a major. Whether it's the Masters, the U.S. Open, the PGA Championship, or the British Open. This is a sport that goes back about 120 years. And you've had guys like Tiger and
Nicholas and Tiger
Jack
were the
Nicklaus.
most. And I forgot the other guy's name. Oh, I think it was named the Shark.
Yep. You've also had guys that have come from Europe and from Australia and from South Africa that have won, and also the Pacific Islands who've won major tournaments. Yet he's the first Japanese man to win the Masters and to wear the green jacket.
But, I also sent you a clip of the first minority person that actually won the Masters.
Yeah.
And that was good because they were honoring him. Do you know the name by some chance? Because I don't got that in front of me right now.
Let me get that right now.
And as we're talking, the Knicks are playing the Lakers. The mighty Knicks, with a record of 27-27, in 8th place.
So mighty they can't even break 500.
The mighty Knicks, who are in 8th place, that they could make the playoffs this year. And LeBron James is not playing this year. I mean, not playing this game because he's scared.
He's not playing because he's hurt, genius.
Oh, okay. I thought he was scared. Yeah, he's playing hurt. That's all. He's scared. That's all. But yeah, you never know. And I can't believe that the Nets didn't beat him.
I can. The Lakers have some pretty decent players on their roster.
That's true too, because they have 3 All-Stars. They have LeBron, AD, and now Drummond. That's an all-star team, too. That's 3 all-stars, and the rest of the team, they're very well balanced. They got young players and old players, too. So, yeah, I can see that. But they're in second place. But, who was it that retired from baseball? He was a football player for the Jets.
Well, let's see.
He was the last guy. He was a football player for the Jets, and then retired. And he played for the Mets minor league system. And
Are you
and he
talking about Tim
retired.
Tebow?
Yeah, Tim Tebow. What happened to him? Maybe he should
He
go back to
retired from
football.
baseball.
Yeah, maybe he should go back to football because they need quarterbacks now.
There is no team out there that, with half a brain, who would even consider Tim Tebow right now.
Oh, and I sent you some soccer ones too,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to say, what do you think of the baseball All-Star game? Not playing in
Oh, you
Georgia.
mean the fact that it's moving from Atlanta to Denver?
Yep. Atlanta, Georgia, yep.
I think it's a great idea.
You think it's a great idea. And people are saying, one side is saying no. The other side, it's a great idea. Some are saying, oh, people are getting too political now, but yet some saying they just want the money. So it's ridiculous. I think baseball, do you think they're doing it for the right reasons, or do you think they're doing it for the wrong reason?
No, they're doing it for the right reasons. In this case, it was for the right reason.
I know it's for the right reason because I'm just saying, did they do it on their own, or do you think that they had to be pressured into doing it?
No, this is of their own volition.
Because then the civil rights people were coming on them very hard. They came on very hard on Coca-Cola. They came very hard. And I don't blame the civil rights people to say, hey, don't play that, because I think those are Jim Crow law rules. And for those people that say, oh, well, you never studied the law, read it. Just read it. I've read it. I read some of the things, and it's horrible. But, and then they're saying some other states have the same rules. No. Not as harsh as this one, no.
In case people are wondering exactly where we're going with this is in regards to Georgia passing a law that would limit the amount of voters, specifically minority voters,
yep,
that would make it to the voting box.
Yeah, can't serve any water, can't do this, can't do that. There's so many can'ts that, and I don't understand. The people, just because the president didn't win, but their other constituents won. You know, even though the Democratic side won 2 seats, but the rest of the Republican Party, what are they talking about? They're saying that it's rigged. Then how did they get elected? If the system was so rigged, how did they get elected? You know, I don't get it. But the same system that these are the same people that are saying it's rigged, but they won. And you can't serve food online. So great. If you're diabetic, you better bring some food. Or if you're tired, you better bring your own seat. Because if your neighbor brings you your seat, they can get in trouble. But yet, they could order Domino's. They can order Domino's. They can order from other places. But your neighbor can't bring you food. Okay. That makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. But do you think football has gone into the program too? They're not playing themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Are they? I know baseball's not doing it. Football. Is football getting into the mix too?
You mean as far as it's all-star game?
Yes, or any type that they weren't going to play there.
The question is, are they even going to have an all-star game to begin with? I know that their all-star game is in Orlando. So right now, I haven't really heard anything about the NFL not doing their all-star game.
I heard
the
that
Pro
they
Bowl,
were being involved. They had some involvement. Maybe I misunderstood the information, but I heard that they were doing something besides baseball. So football, the 2 major sports so far, are doing something. and movie companies, and some other places they're not doing, which is right, which is the truth. I mean, they should do it in some other parts of the states too, but one thing at a time. But so baseball is playing where now? In Denver.
Yeah, they're going to be in Coors Field in Denver for the All-Star game.
Wow. Is that a good place to play? When was the last time they had it here in New York?
2013 at Citi Field.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. And speaking, the NHL, were there big trades? I know the Devils made a trade, and I also sent you a clip.
Yeah, Kyle Palmieri, and also one other guy got sent by the Devils to the Islanders. There was so many trades that went down in the NHL, I lost count.
Okay, let's go by. Were there major trades that shocked people that they got traded, in your estimation? What was the biggest trade
here
that
we are.
you know of?
NHL Trade Tracker. Jordy Ben acquired by Winnipeg from Vancouver for a 6th-round pick. The Maple Leafs acquired Ben Hutton from the Ducks. The Sharks acquired Alex Barbanoff from the Maple Leafs for Antti Suomela. And the Capitals acquire Michael Raffl from the Flyers. Eric Gudbranson acquired from the Predators, from the Senators by the Predators, that is. Eric Gustafsson acquired by Montreal from Philly. Panthers acquire Sam Bennett and a 6th-round draft pick from the Flames for Emil Heineman and a 2nd-round pick. Canucks acquire Madison Bowie from the Blackhawks for a 4th-round pick. So that's some of the trades that took place in a nutshell today.
Wow.
Let's see. Overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 trades took place today alone.
Was there anyone major? Was there a major trade that you thought wasn't going to happen or was going to happen? Was there a major trade in your estimation that went, oh, I can't believe this happened? Or which trade are you most shocked by?
I think the David Savard trade that Tampa made with Columbus was a pretty big deal. It was part of a 3-team trade. It was Tampa, Columbus, and Detroit. And only, in addition to Savard, only draft picks wound up moving around.
Hey,
I see that the Islanders also agreed to a deal to get Braden Colburn from the Senators for a 7th-round pick. So that's to shore up the defense.
I just hope that the Devils and the Islanders and the Rangers did improve.
Well, the Islanders definitely improved.
Good.
Getting Kyle Palmieri and the other kid.
Right.
Definitely a smart deal for the Islanders, who are now, after last season's run to the conference finals, going for the cup. And unfortunately, Henrik Lundqvist is not going to play at all this season for the rest of the season because of open heart surgery.
Oh, man. That's a shame, but hey. What do you think of the Yankees going off on a bad way?
Well, what can you say? I mean, Tampa is twice the team that the Yankees are right now. Tampa has better pitching. They've got better situational hitting. They're hitting better in the clutch. And the Yankees, let's face facts, they're just not hitting right now. Except for yesterday when Rougned Odor, who the Yankees acquired from Texas, wound up getting that big hit in the 10th inning. The Yankees
and they're what, 3-5, right?
4-5.
Oh, they were 4-5.
Mm-hmm. And right now the Yankees are playing Toronto, and last I checked, the Yankees were trailing against the Blue Jays. I think it was 1-0. Yep, 1-0 in the bottom of the second. And the Blue Jays have 2 on with 2 out. As far as the Mets, they split 2 with Florida, and their game with Philly tonight also got postponed because of inclement weather. So they're going to have a traditional doubleheader tomorrow.
Oh, they're going to have the 7th inning doubleheaders?
Yeah. You think that's bad? What about that rule where they start a runner on second base in extra innings?
I think that's worse. I really do think that's worse.
They're turning it into softball now.
But they just want to speed up the game. There is no way to speed up baseball. There isn't any way to speed up baseball. There really isn't.
See?
And there's no way. Unless there's great players that you really got to see, so, even this year, you have to see Aaron Judge. You have to see, let's say you have to see the Yankees. I mean, people will always come out to see the Yankees.
Of course.
Because they're the Darth Vader of the team, you know. But people from every state will want to see the Yankees. But there's not many superstars out there. Let's say each team, they're trying to get their own superstars. But I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, even when Jeter and Mariano were there, at least every team had a couple of all-stars. Mm-hmm. That you can say, damn. But no team, there aren't that many teams out there anymore that's making the game interesting.
Mike Trout's a pretty good player.
I'm just saying there aren't that many teams out there that have interesting. They don't have interesting teams anymore, or interesting players, because a lot of times you would say, "Oh, we got to see this guy."
Well,
and the media tries to put people on there to make them, "Oh, we got to see this guy," even though this guy is not that good.
The Dodgers are a pretty interesting team, and they won the title last year.
No, I'm not saying all the teams. I'm saying some of the teams, because right now they're trying to speed up. They're trying to make baseball fun to see. There's no way of making baseball fun to see.
Baseball has always been fun to see.
Huh?
Baseball has always been fun to see.
Wait. Listen to what I'm saying. Baseball, unless you're a true fan, is not that fun to see if you're not a true fan. Because remember, it's if you're a true fan, you're going to enjoy everything about the game. If you're a fair weather fan, once in a while they'll go to the games. But if you're one of those people that'll go, "Oh, this game's too boring," and baseball is losing it's losing its revenue, because baseball to the majority of people is not fun anymore. They don't have those teams. They don't have the players. Like I said, even between the 80s and the 90s when they had Mariano, when we had all the other teams were great too. The Yankees are still great, but you have players that get injured right away. Aaron Judge, Stanton, Giancarlo Stanton, he's hurt most of the time, and they're playing. And guys are having 10-year contracts, and they could only play for 7 years. You know, so and again, baseball is a very long sport. I mean, it's a very long game to see. If you're not a true fan, if you're not there with your buddies, or you're a true fan of the game or of your team, baseball's not that fun.
I disagree.
Unless you played it, but again, I like the game. Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to look at it from a perspective standpoint of, okay, why is this game fun? What is it about? And to me, the players were what made the game fun.
You know, we could probably do a whole show about baseball itself and talk about why it's fun, and also talk about why it's not fun.
Yeah. All I can say is that even though the 7th inning and the runner on second, they're trying to improve it so that it could be fun and so that the games won't be long. But does it make it fun for the actual people that are watching it?
Mm-hmm.
And the Mets, how are they doing?
The Mets game got postponed, Ed.
But how is their record?
Right now, the Mets have a record of, let's see here, 2-3.
Because people are going crazy. I know, you should win every game that you can. But also, Yankees normally have a slow start. If you notice, they normally have a slow start. They don't have a fast start most of the time.
That's right.
They normally have a slow start, and that's it. I mean, don't. As one commentator said, don't worry about it. It's only the beginning of the year. Don't worry about it. Wait until the middle of the year. That's when you start going, oh, good gracious, who are they going to – There was already some people going, oh, they got to get players now for them to hit. They're not hitting. They got to get players. That whole team is a whole tar steam.
Mm-hmm.
But the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Lakers tied 21-all, and one person of the Lakers stepped off the court in the first quarter. But did you hear about the fine that KD got and Michael Rappaport?
Yeah, I heard about that.
I like Michael Rappaport. He's a good actor, and he's somewhat of a good person, but he plays off like a real big fool. He really comes off like a really big fool.
So I've heard.
And I don't know. What do you think of the whole situation with them finding KD?
Well, I would probably talk more about it, but we only got 15 seconds, and unfortunately, we got to get on out of here.
So have a good night.
Thank you. Thanks to Kenny on the other side of the glass. For everyone here, I'm Jamie.
I'm Hector.
Good night, everyone.
Night-night.